Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what screams that person that everyone hates? Me looking through comments to see if I'm annoying. Dude, I'm fucking learning, it's great. 10/10ths comment. Would read again. The one-upper who often invalidates others instead of supporting them. When you tell them that something bad happened, they gotta complain how they have it worse than you, like they are in a pain contest. Or instead of being happy for you when something good happened, they gotta brag about how they have it better than you. Edit, revised Olympics to contest because it's not what I thought it was. Thank you for the replies. To the people who've shared your stories, I'm sorry you had to experience that or deal with it. Also to the people who are trying to do better, good luck. I see you know my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law is far worse. People have a problem with me because I tell it like it is. No orphees, but proceeds to say something incredibly offensive. I'm not racist, but I don't like enter literally any race or ethnicity here. People who are brutally honest only ever have bad things to say. If they were really invested in telling it like it is, they would give awesome compliments too. Brutally honest is just another way of saying mean. Also, watch them lose their shit when you get brutally honest about how unlikable they are. The person who turns everything into a heated argument. Like my brother, who has no idea how to formulate an argument and just ends up insulting the other person. It's annoying as hell and I'm surprised he has friends. This is my uncle. Every time you disagree with him, it's eye rolls, condescending tone of voice, explanation about how you haven't lived enough. It's not much of a defense of his position and more just insults. Edit, typing issues. How you haven't lived enough. People confuse experience with expertise way too often. My sister is slowly turning into this. Annoying AF. The person who never lets anyone finish talking. Edit, damn. I literally wrote this comment right before I left for work and am on break now and seeing this. Thank you all so much for the upvotes and awards for something I literally just thought of off the top of my head, lol. Whenever I'm helping a customer and they ask me a question, I will start to answer, but my co-worker, who is nearby, will loudly cut me off and finish saying what I was saying. It always leads to awkward interactions since the customer doesn't know who to look at anymore. Edit, do you guys think it's a good idea to gently bring up to her that it makes me feel really bad when she does that? She has ADHD and I don't think she realizes how rude it comes across as. But also she's kinda my manager and we work together daily, so I don't want to create tension. This just kills me. It escalates too. So now in meetings the only way to get a word in is to interrupt someone and it becomes an endless chain of interruptions. Edit, oh wow, it's my cake day and my most upvoted comment is one where I vent about work. Thank you my dear fellow Redditors. I have a co-worker that will cut your story off mid-sentence to one-up you with their own story that's barely even related to the topic at hand. They are so self-involved and long-winded that people will see him in the break room and decide to take the elevator to one of the other break rooms on another floor. Elmeo. Edit, to clarify, most of his stories are about how awesome New Jersey / New York is and how stupid Washington staters are. After a while of being made fun of by him, I just wanna scream, if you love Jersey so much, then move back to Jersey. I recommend using a technique I learned years ago when you run into someone like that. When they do it to me, I wait for a little bit for them to pick up steam with their story, and then loudly and obviously interrupt them, beginning with "that's nothing," followed by continuing with my previous story. They may not get it the first time, but after the third or fourth time you do that to them, they'll generally stop the behavior altogether. I've had success interrupting the interrupter with, "Go ahead, I'll finish my story when you're done." I have a co-worker who cuts people off saying I know when she wants us to stop talking. If she wasn't interested she could at least say sorry, gotta do this right now, and walk off, but no, this is more infuriating. I did do a silent cheer when her sister went off at her screaming "you know nothing though." Her sister went off at her screaming "you know nothing though." That co-worker's name? Jon Snow. If their entire personality is based off of one factor. Hey guys, I smoke weed. We get it, Jerry. Can we talk about something else? Did you know you can make rope and paper from hemp? I used to smoke about 4 feet of rope a day. Thomas Jefferson's head. I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm, like, so an Aries. I'm such a Mars. Don't you mean Ares? Dons Corinthian helmet, draws flaming sword. Nope. The students who try and argue with me about any and every little thing because their entire personality is built off of wanting to be smarter than the professor. Most students hate that person too. It's like, come on, we can get out early if you shut up. So there's a guy in my class that everyone hates, which I feel bad about now. The thing with him is that when you meet him, within the first or second question he'll say something negative about you. It could be he's trying to be sarcastic, but to play it safe keep to positive things on the first few sentences back and forth. He could be trying to negative you in a social way. A lot of those pick-up artist sort of things also advertise themselves as a way to get friends too. Or it could just be he thinks that's how you socialize, or even he just doesn't want to be the bottom of the pecking order. If you want to help him point it out, don't make a big thing of it, just say, "Ha, that's a bit rude," the next time he says it. I think a lot of people do this kind of thing just because nobody has ever pointed it out to them. I find half the time if you point it out they generally stop. Yup. We've all had an encounter with that guy who meets the friend group and goes too hard on the banter before earning the right. I'm all for ripping on friends, and it's fun. But you don't do it when you first meet someone. Not everyone has that kind of humor, and you gotta feel it out first. If you're the kind who has to be an asshole because it's who you are and can't tone it down around people who don't like it, then, well, fuck you. People who base their entire personality around being edgy and brutally honest when really, they're just assholes. Oh, you mean people who shit on you and act like saints? And they expect you to be thankful with them for shitting on you. What? Edit, thank you for the anonymous gifts. Thank you for the awards. First time resonating. I'm certain these people are just hoping somebody says something to them so they can start shit. It's always a very specific kind of person that does this. That never occurred to me. I figured that they are probably looking for somebody to notice how cool they are. A few years ago in the city where I was living, a man was stabbed to death in front of his young son because someone was playing loud music in public and he asked them to turn it down. When people flaunt their lack of boundaries and consideration for others, there's no way of knowing just how far that extends. As a larger, somewhat intimidating man, I did this once when a dude got on the train, sat across from me and put his music on full, and without thinking about I loudly asked, "Can you turn that off?" He looked at me like I just shat in his hat, a long glare. But then said, "Sure man, how's your day going?" and proceeded to make small talk with me. It was weird. Calls all mandatory meetings at 4:30 on Fridays. My last manager arranged meetings to end at 3:30 on Fridays so we could all leave early. He was fucking excellent. People who just keep talking about themselves. They talk and talk and talk. They'll ask you a question and while you're mid-answer they will cut you off and start talking about themselves. Man, I hate that I do this sometimes. I think it's because I try to relate to someone's experience to show that I can empathize with what they are going through, but it totally just comes off as me being self-centered. I'm working on it though. Edit, y'all, I realized the irony of my comment while I typed it, but figured that since it was a comment and not an inescapable conversation, it'd be fine. A lot of folks seem genuinely annoyed at this comment, so, sorry. I never said it was a good thing, and tried to make it quite clear that it's a thing I'm ashamed of and want to fix. I just wanted to show the other side of the coin. But yeah. Ultimately the same reasoning as my original comment. This is also a neurodivergent thing, if anyone was curious. A lot of replies were talking about it. A lot of people with ADHD/autism/neurodivergent disorders do this. My best friend and I both do this and are both aware we do, so when we can't think of anything else to say, we'll literally type, like not trying to make it about me, just trying to empathize. Before our response. Someone who constantly needs to say fuck the haters. In my experience, that's the person whom everyone despises. And it always seems that it's those people who are the ones who are doing the most hating also. You're cute for a Redditor. That's a low bar. I was hanging out with the cute co-worker in the dining room between service. I guess the sunlight was shining on me, and she says, "You know Barkby, I really love how you have such bright blue eyes and brown hair." I simply nodded and smiled really big, and she continues. "I bet you were really handsome when you were younger." Yeah, big oof. My god. My brother at 20 to a 40 plus woman, you must have been good looking when you were younger. She smiled then cried. Yelling at a checkout clerk at Walmart. I mean, like, seriously, what could they have done to you to make you that upset? Maybe you need some anger management training. Edit. This happened at the self-checkout lane, so I don't know what the Walmart checkout clerk could have even done. I was in the next lane and my back was to this woman, so I didn't see what happened. But this woman kept yelling at the clerk, I want to talk to your manager right now. Eventually they both walked up to the service desk together to get a manager. I felt sorry for the clerk and the manager. I dated a girl back in the day that absolutely lost it on a Taco Bell worker because of some sour cream. I couldn't believe how something so insignificant could lead to her being so rude to someone who was making absolute shit food at 2 a.m. for next to nothing. I let her know how I felt about it and we basically stopped talking altogether that night.